Hi everyone, welcome back to Infinity Wealth. My name is Kiki and I know I'm not a regular face to this channel, but I am here today, and the reason why I'm here today is because every week I'm going to be bringing you updates on the stock market, giving you insights into what I'm looking at. That's what my job is going to be week in, week out. Martin will continue bringing great property content. He will also get involved in the stock market content as well, as he's experienced in it. Obviously from me, you will hear more the younger generation insights. I would also say the less experienced most probably, whereas Martin's very experienced. And we're going to be looking at all sorts, from classic stable growth stocks to risky IPO stocks to stocks with great potential and stocks that you may want to stay away from, literally. We want to incorporate and the goal is really to incorporate both the present opportunities and potentially capitalizing on future opportunities in the stock market and for particular stocks. At the end of this video, I'm also going to be doing a market breakdown on the chart, so make sure you watch to the end of this video. And before we get into it, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, because the way the YouTube algorithm works is if you don't smash that like button, you won't see our latest videos. So make sure you do that before we begin. Now, first, I have to remind you, these videos are not financial advice. They are simply for education and insight purposes. I am sharing with you, sharing with you my experiences and what I'm doing myself in the market. That's all. So you need to take proper financial advice if you're going to be executing. Make sure you've got all that. I'm just sharing with you my experiences and my insights and education. Cool. Awesome. So now that's all out the way. Now all the important and boring stuff is out the way. We are going to be talking about two stocks in today's video, and they are NIO and XPENG. Now you may have heard of those. They are Chinese electric vehicle companies. So the Chinese electric vehicle space is booming, absolutely booming. China manufacturers accounting for over 50% of global EV deliveries. It's very likely, not even likely, it is going to be a robust industry. The Chinese government wants about 25% of all new cars sold in the country to be electric by 2025. And that's up from roughly 5% at present. So we're going to be looking into these two companies. What are they doing? Why are they potentials? Why am I looking at them? And then, is there an investment potential? Then we're going to look at some of the charts on those, right? Now, just to sort of clarify, I would class NIO and XPENG first and foremost as the more riskier type, but with also future potential category. So that's the sort of category I put this stock or this company in. XPENG being one that literally just IPO'd actually in August gone. NIO being one that IPO'd in around 2018, I believe. Both fairly new companies, having been IPO'd and founded quite early. So I do personally put them in the higher risk and future potential category. The future potential category, essentially. If you have an appetite for risk, and sensible risk, of course, don't be chucking all your money, and I don't do that, so I have a sensible appetite for risk. Some of my investments I would do in things that may be lucrative, things that may be new companies, but after doing considerable amounts of research and looking into these companies. Now, again, both are Chinese electric vehicle producers, and what I like to see them as are Tesla competitors. And we all know, as we're most probably all involved in business, competition is great. It's great for business. It's great for markets. It's great for when you're investing as well. It can be, of course, if there's too much competition, then that poses its own problems. But when you've got the likes of Tesla, and you don't really see many companies that are really competing or sort of battling up to the neck with Tesla as of yet. And seriously, I would say, there may be some small company. And again, these two companies could be those serious competitors for Tesla that enable them to produce more, more inexpensively and do all sorts of stuff and basically open up this market. Now, an introduction, first of all, to XPENG. XPENG IPO'd, again, as I said, in August 2020. It was founded in 2014. It's the stock price. The stock is up around 77%, I believe, this year. And XPENG produces and sells premium electric vehicles, including the G3 SUV and the P7 four-door sedan, which are roughly positioned as rivals to the Tesla's Model Y SUV and Model 3 sedan. Although they are more affordable, and they also have a basic version of the G3 starting around $22,000 post subsidies. And the G3 was among the top 3 electric SUVs in terms of sales in China in 2019. So that is sort of a roundup on, you know, what they are performing, they are sort of selling, and they have started, and the sort of comparisons to Tesla really. NIO, on the other hand, IPO'd in September 2018. The ridiculously stock price has been up by around 934% this year. Again, NIO produces and sells electric vehicles, including 3 premium electric SUVs, the ES8, the ES6, and EC6, which are priced starting around $50,000, I believe. The company is working on developing self-driving technology. So, you know, like Tesla are also doing this, or already started doing this. And they also offer unique innovations such as the battery as a service, BaaS, which is, which allows customers to basically subscribe for car batteries rather than paying for them up front, which is, again, fantastic sort of thing, especially sort of forward thinking for the industry, you know, for the sort of market. Now, you know, where are these two companies going? You know, where are we looking at in terms of the future potential? So we know the sort of back history and stuff, and again, we'll go into the charts and look at the charts as well in terms of the stock prices and etc. But in my opinion, they're heading for the right market. The right market, you know, in China, first and foremost, of electric vehicles, is, again, booming. It's great. It starts popping off. It starts selling globally. Starts selling worldwide. It could really, you know, boost and, I guess, inspire a lot of the other car companies that we are known, especially in Europe and United Kingdom, to sort of lead the way into producing these sort of efficient and electric cars. You know, so I think it's heading in the right direction. I definitely think it's the company-wise, the vision, what they're producing is also right. It's in the right direction. In terms of renewable energies, you know, reducing the impacts, the environmental impacts is a massive step in the right direction. So in terms of what they're doing, I definitely think it's correct. Again, in alignment with Tesla, what Tesla are doing. I mean, Elon Musk as well in himself. What he's doing is like crazy things. But again, you see they're very forward-thinking, innovative solutions that he's providing to the industry. So in terms, so great potential now, but they're both in early phases of their growth. That's one thing. You know, NIO is in the earlier phase for sure, compared to XPENG, but not by a ridiculous amount. And you know, the growth, XPENG and specifically, had a growth of revenue expanded by 56% last year. You know, this is likely to pick up over 90% in 2020 in this year. And I think obviously we've sort of seen that earnings are also going to be, I believe, NIO, it might be the other way around, but one earnings on the 12th of November, which is tomorrow actually, and one earnings on the 17th of November. I'm not too sure which way around, but you'd have to check that. But again, both in early stages of growth. Another great pro is, you know, they're great. They're great competitors to Tesla, and I say this again because it's important, especially in an industry where not many people. I mean, we know the Nissan Leafs, we know the other companies that are producing, the Fords are producing electric cars, etc. But I think we're looking at scales of especially higher luxury and higher class products here as well, which some of these electric car providers produce as well. So it's like a whole mixed range, and producing them efficiently and affordably and cheap. You know, the Nissan Leaf isn't the most cheapest car. It's quite pricey, even starting out price. So it's sort of bringing that sort of market to its competitive level. So I definitely think these are going to be driving forces. And again, you know, we know what happens when the Chinese get involved, when the Chinese market gets involved. That is where normally things head. They are able to produce fantastic products at very, very good prices, and it will be interesting to see where they go. So in terms of that, you know, again, sort of shows the great potential that it has. Now, again, the next thing is another pro is unique innovations, especially NIO with their car battery subscription. It's a forward-thinking solution. You know, people are buying all these car batteries, paying lots of money to buy these car batteries, but are they able to afford them, and is it sustainable? So what do they come out with? They come out with a subscription-based model, which is, again, great, forward-thinking. It shows a lot of what they're already starting to do. Now the cons, just to sort of go over these before we then go into the chart. The cons, definitely, you know, they're both at the beginning of the journey. So I said this as a pro, but this is also a con, is that they're all both at the beginning of the journey. But equally, imagine catching Tesla, you know, a few years ago when it was also at the beginning of its journey, or even catching Tesla last year, and I'll show you that on the chart, which you wouldn't even believe. So that pro and a con, definitely a con as well, because it's, again, beginning of the journey. Now, it's a riskier investment. I mean, if you compare it to Tesla, for sure. Of course, there was a point at which Tesla was considered a risky investment. So it's very arguable. And I guess this is where the sort of ferocity of the younger sort of mind thinking, the riskier side, the appetite to the risk thinks, you know, it's like, well, Tesla used to be a risky investment, you know, and now look at it, like everybody's like crying now that they missed out on the opportunity, blah, blah, blah. And as you know, Tesla had a stock split as well. Or as you most probably may know, if not, look it up. So in terms of, again, comparison, yes, you know, Tesla does definitely at the moment seem like a very sort of safer option. The other con, I would say, is NIO is focused on the Chinese EV market, which is extremely competitive. There are with several hundred players. And that is definitely one con that I look at and I'd be like, you know, what is going to set NIO apart from these hundreds of competitors that are in this market? That is definitely something that we need to look at. We need to just sort of focus over time and see where NIO heads and how it goes and how it performs. Again, this is why I would account this as a risky speculative investment. Maybe sit on your hands at the beginning, maybe get involved, but get involved a little bit. That's what I'm doing at the moment. These are the sort of ideas that you start looking, start viewing them, etc. Now, because it's involved in only the Chinese EV market, that also poses problems for, you know, are they thinking of going global? Are they thinking of going outside? Of course, many issues and implications come with that in itself. You know where tech is headed, you know, the US-China war and trade wars and, you know, the Huawei situation and all sorts of stuff. And, you know, it's a very sort of tense position at the moment to even think about those things. So are they really going to just focus their first few years of investment and opportunities and product lines in the Chinese market? So we want to look at that. Scaling up production is also not going to be an easy task for both companies, not just NIO, really. Again, competitive, to keep up with, if demand increases, you know, is it viable? You know, that's the question. Again, it all comes from just sitting on the side seat, which is what I will also be doing, and just viewing and seeing how they do cope. And again, it will be interesting to see the earnings tomorrow and on the 17th, whichever way around the companies are. And then the other problem is NIO actually faced quality challenges in the past. Last year it recalled around 5,000 vehicles back, I believe, after reports of several fires. Insane, crazy, you know, sort of sounds like, you know, what happened to some of the iPhones and etc. Again, arguably this happens, you know, this has happened with even normal car companies, recalls happen, you know, fires and whatever, and it's bad. I mean, the Lamborghinis had a problem at when they released a certain model. I don't specifically remember which one it was, but they had a massive recall as well. So again, these problems do happen, but again, it definitely is a deterrent. It definitely looks as a con, especially when it's earlier on. You know, that may mean that, you know, I shouldn't be looking to get involved, or I should be more conscious about this, and it remains to be seen. You know, if scale up production, you know, they can scale up production while still maintaining the quality. So that's why, you know, that scaling up may not be as easy as you know, we think it may be for both companies. The last one is, it's a safer bet. Safer bet is definitely Tesla in this industry. So if I was speaking right now for myself, definitely safer bet is Tesla. But again, Tesla used to say, people used to say Tesla was risky. So that's my other sort of counter, you know, argument against that. So it's open for opinions. Look, it's open for research. It's open for you to sort of see into these companies, research into these companies, and that's why I'm sharing this information, to make you sort of aware of what sort of things that I'm currently looking at. And again, I'm looking at these sort of future markets, the electric, the biotechs, the renewable energy companies, even to the point of charging points. You know, these electric cars are going to need charging points. So if the electric cars are going to increase, look at car companies, charging point companies, you know, British ones, Chinese ones, American ones, who are producing these charging points. So look at those. Biotech is a massive industry, and again, I'll do a lot of these different sort of companies, different sort of markets and industries in the future. And if you want me to sort of look at anything or view anything, you know, give me a shout. We'll do some classical ones as well, you know, and the bigger companies that have been around for a long time. We'll do some healthcare companies, all sorts, basically. So that's pretty much a sort of roundup on those two companies. What we'll go into is a quick sort of 5-minute breakdown on the charts. We'll have a look at the charts, including the Tesla one. So if you let me get my screen up, bear with me a second. Cool. So, amazing. So if I get my, perfect. So, so again, you can have a look at NIO's website, so NIO.com. You can have a look at what they do, the cars, some really nice pictures, etc., etc. XPENG's website looks very similar to the Tesla, doesn't it? Looks very, very similar. That one doesn't, but this one definitely does. Yeah, you can have a look, check them out. Models, services, investors, check it out, have a look. Cool. So actually, before we go into some really good articles, actually, I will put these in the link below so you can read them. You know, Chinese EV startup XPENG Motors raises 1.5 billion in its US public market debut. The XPENG and Li, so Li is another one. Li is another electric vehicle car company. So you can check that out. Oh, using ad blocker, just close that. NIO will be a winner in the EV market analysis. I mean, again, like, I'm analyzing here, analysis are all opinionated, whatever. So take everything with a pinch of salt, make sure you get your proper advice, make sure you do your own research. But these are also good to read, to get some other insights of what other people think as well. You know, China's NIO unveils the 100 kilowatts battery with flexible upgrade plans. Fantastic. Cool. So like, I'll link all these in, some really good reads there that you can see. Cool. So if we go into the charts, we have a look. Cool. So let's look at NIO first and foremost. We look at this on a monthly basis. Of course, we don't have much going on here because in around 2018 when the IPO, I think September 2018, the IPO happened. So, you know, we fluctuated between, if I zoom in here a bit now, we fluctuated in between, started at $13, you know, went to a low, if I can draw on this, because it allows me to, yeah. You know, went to a low of around $1, which is insane. So $1 in September 29. So year onwards, we went from 13 to $1 essentially in 2019, and then from there onwards, we absolutely skyrocketed from September 19 all the way up until now. You can see we went from then $1 and all the way up to the high, which was last week of $45. You know, it's been some insane growth in the last 12 months. I mean, forget the last 12 months. I mean, if we look at this is November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Literally since June we had the bullish candle. So since then we were still in this consolidation zone. We was in this zone where we weren't really breaking out. We finally broke out. The market started. The company started booming, stock prices. So since June, this has been absolutely bullish. And of course, there's no saying now whether this stops, which this rockets, retraces, comes down. You know, will we see a market pullback or whatever? As I said, we've got earnings. So NIO is on the 17th. So we got NIO on the 17th happening. You know, will this come down? Will we go up? We keep shooting up. So if we look at this on a smaller time frame, we can see. You know, we had a bit of a trend forming here. Trend was broken. Now we're basically stuck on this moving average here at the moment. So we're going to see if we're going to bounce off of this and continue to go up. And then today, if we look at today, we did have a spike down. We had some rejections. The price did not actually continue falling, but we did have lows of 38, around $38. $38 that happened, and then again another spike down, and then back up again. So on a very short-term perspective, if you're watching this today, you know, until we sort of break this zone, I guess. Till we break this zone, and if we do, then we could see some further bullish momentum on this. Again, guys, this is technical analysis. This is based upon the chart, so of course there is impact on people that do trade. I don't trade. I don't trade with leverage stocks. I buy, sell. I may buy and sell on short-term basis, but I've got half my portfolio where I do trades without leverage, and then stocks that I just hold basically for long term. So again, this is dependent on your investment strategy. That's just personally what I prefer to do. You see, you see that until we sort of break out there. So that's basically in a sort of nutshell. You know, if we want to see if any trend lines that are happening here, we can see not really much going on, to be honest with you. Maybe on a larger time frame, but yeah, but pretty much is looking bullish unless we get a significant pullback. You know, I will definitely be topping up. I mean, I topped up today. We had this pullback. I did indeed top up a bit here, but again, if it comes sharp down, comes running down again, I'd definitely be looking to purchasing more. Again, I'm taking this on a very risk adverse, conscious basis. I'm not chucking money into this. I am being conservative with it. I am looking at this from a risk point of view as well. So again, depending on your appetite is what you want to do. And then we can look at XPENG. XPEV is the ticker. Cool. Month, you see, compared to NIO, we don't have any history, or even NIO doesn't have much history. But yeah, August 20, obviously we had an IPO. If we look on a weekly basis, we started at 25 and then went all the way down to 17. I did actually get a little bit excited by this, and I did purchase around, I think it was around 22. And then I experienced this dip that happened, and then we had that, and then we had a bit of a go up. We came up looking good, and then we had an even lower dip. So I mean, not significantly lower, but we went to 17 here, and then after we went to around 17.12, and so 17.47, 17.12, But yeah, so this was, you can imagine, this was a few days. You know, this was from the 27th to the 27th of August to the 25th of a month, good month, 25th of September. So a good month this happened. And then again, we stayed stable. So the similar sort of thing here until we sort of clearly break out this consolidation, or this resistance area, which we did. We hit it. We sort of resisted against it. It hit again. We did break out and then came back in, and then we're hitting it again, and finally we broke through. So which is sort of a hooray moment when this happened, and then this happened. You know, market's starting to move now. Okay, cool. We're getting some momentum. Great, fantastic. So, and then we had the ball, and it happened all of a sudden. It was literally market open, gapped, bang, straight up. Cool. So on a shorter time frame, again, you see. Let's go on to like hourly on the daily today. So today we've had also a retracement, so similar to what we had on NIO. We had a high last week of $39, and then we had a low today of $30 basically, and then we've come back up again, resting on the EMA. So if you look at the 4, we're still resting on this blue EMA. This, if I am not wrong, is the 8 EMA, exponential moving average. Resting on the EMA, so we're going to see if this bounces up or goes down. Again, if it goes down, I'm buying. I will buy or top up. Again, conservatively. If it doesn't and it goes up, then that's great. I mean, that's what we want, right? So yeah, so that is those two. If we also look at Tesla, because we've mentioned that, we've been mentioning that quite a bit. We look at this on a weekly. I just want to sort of put it into perspective here. Again, please do your own research, look into this. But if I put it into this sort of perspective on these sort of companies, you know, like if we sort of highlight this zone, how long we was in this zone for with Tesla, pretty much, you know, oops. Okay, perfect. Whoops. All right, cool. So pretty much, so let's count it from here. So February 2014. I mean, this was the first zone, and then this was the second zone, but pretty much all through here. So from 2014 all the way till 2019, November 2019. But you know, look, we had crazy lows of $37, and even still since then, like if we look at it from this perspective and just compare it. This is what NIO and XPENG are doing now, right? It's like we started at around these $5 marks, you know, these sort of like lower, and now it's sort of all of a sudden we're starting to increase, and then we had a massive all the way up to 38. Now, you know, again, I don't want to say that this is exactly the same because it could not be. I could be completely wrong, and this thing could just go to like tomorrow. Something could come out, and the stock absolutely crashes. This is why you have to be very, very careful when you're investing. But you know, just sort of a comparison, went up to 37, went down, and it just continued to go up, and then we went to 58, and then stayed in this consolidation zone, consolidation of 58 for like 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 5 years stayed in this sort of zone, and then finally broke out. And when we broke out, my God, you know, from 71, which was the high around here, straight to 193, then straight to 558, then straight to the highs, which was 500, which was insane. I mean, they were higher than that per stock price because we had the stock split. So times it by 4, basically. We had a quarter stock split. Yeah. So, and again, this happened from February this year. So as the world was panicking about COVID, as the world was going absolutely crazy and focusing on other stuff, the opportunities were missed. And I was definitely one of them who missed this opportunity. Did not see it at all. And then I caught some waves going up, basically. But God, that would have been great, wouldn't it? Like, I mean, even if you bought at this retracement at 70, going all the way up to 507 is just, it speaks for itself. But anyways, so I'm not saying this is just advice. This is not financial advice. This is just insights, and this is just some education, just something for you to think about and look into. You know, have a look into it, read about it, see what other EV stocks are out there, research into it, but definitely this industry has potential. That's one thing I can say for 100% sure. You know, we want to be looking at the Tesla competitors, the companies that are going to be pushing us forward with these electric cars. And you know, that is the way we need to go. That is the way the world needs to go with, especially vehicles. Self-driving is another problem, not problem, but another obstacle and an opportunity in itself. But I think that needs to be sort of sidelined, and I think the main focus for a lot of countries is replacing their fuel, petrol, diesel cars with electric cars and efficient cars. So definitely the forefront of a lot of companies and countries and governments' policies. So definitely worth looking into. But yeah, I hope that has been helpful. We're just over 30 minutes. But I hope that's sort of been helpful. You know, I don't know if it's been helpful at all, but please do let me know in the comments below. Let me know if there's anything that you want me to talk about, any other stocks that you want me to review. I will do this on a weekly basis. And yeah, basically, you know, that's this week's. I hope you enjoyed the market breakdown. Let me know if it makes sense. If it doesn't make any sense, I know I've jumped a lot of steps, and I'm sort of assumed that you understand how to read the markets. But you know, if you do, fantastic. If you don't, we will have stuff in the future. It's not quite ready yet, but we will have stuff in the future to teach you how to do all this. So that no problem about that. But if you have any questions, just give us put a comment below, and I'll be more than happy to answer. Martin will be more than happy to answer, and we'll be back with you next week. So remember, smash that like button, because of the way the algorithm works. If you don't smash that like button, you will not see our latest videos. And hit that subscribe button and support us, and share this even with one person if this helped you. You know, share the insight. But apart from that, I'll catch you next week.